Right now at 6, Packers fans are waking up a little bummed out after a tough loss overnight. We'll have a recap straight ahead.
But first, breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center of a shootout that caused quite a bit of damage on the city's east side. We'll have the latest straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on this November 25th. We are going to get straight to that breaking news this morning. A shootout that almost hit someone inside their home overnight.
Keely Arthur has been at the scene all morning, and she joins us live with the latest. Keely, good morning.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. We actually just spoke to a woman who says she wasn't surprised to hear about this shots fired incident, but she declined an on-camera interview, saying she was too scared. Now, police say at least 36 shots were fired in this area, hitting homes, cars, and narrowly missing a person by about 5 feet. It's actually a miracle no one was actually hit, as this is a really heavily populated area. We're on Cottage Grove Road. There is a YMCA here. There's a police department, lots of residential area. Now, police say this happened around 9 p.m. last night at the 4500 block of Cottage Grove Road. They say they found 36 shell casings, 2 damaged vehicles, and multiple damaged buildings. Police say residents tried to hide when they heard the gunshots, which officers say came from 2 sides shooting at one another. Right now, police are getting video evidence to learn more. They also talked to several people in the area and searched apartments overnight. Now, this incident comes just a few days after one very similar to it over on the city's north side, where a woman actually was hit by a stray bullet. The people involved in that situation have been arrested. Not clear if there's any relation to this case. Officers have yet to make any arrests in this case that happened overnight. And Leah and Josh, they're asking for the public's help. If you have any information, please contact the police or Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Keely Arthur continuing to keep us updated this morning. Thank you very much, Keely.
Now to the weather. Meteorologist Hattie McLean is here with a nice mild Monday before the calm before the storm, we should say, really.
That is true, and we get to enjoy some mild temperatures today as well, with highs well into the 40s, close to 50 degrees. Take a live look from the WISC-TV sky camera shot. We will see a nice sunrise this morning, just a few clouds in the area. Look for partly sunny skies today, but a scrape alert in effect for this morning. I did notice some pretty thick frost on all the news cars in the parking lot as I got to work early today. So plan a couple of extra minutes to clear the windshield before you head out on your way. Temperatures have actually risen a little bit here in Madison. We're now up to 34, still 30 in Janesville and 29 in the Dells. We're looking at highs right around 47 with partly sunny skies and light southwesterly wind today. Now, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about that storm that moves in on Tuesday. The National Weather Service offices that cover the state have already issued some winter storm watches for northern Wisconsin. That's where the heaviest snow is expected with this particular system. So, of all those details in just a few minutes, let's get you up to date on your first alert traffic conditions this morning. The Beltline at Todd Drive moving just fine. No issues here in and around Madison. I did look around the area. There are no accidents to report at this time. And that's your first alert traffic.
We are talking about some inclement weather you're talking about Tuesday into Wednesday, big travel days, and then later on in the week when people are maybe headed back from their turkey day.
Yeah, we had to add another alert day for Sunday, so stay up to date with the forecast if you're moving around this week.
I just want to get home. If I can't get back here, it's all right, but
wait, that's not cool.
I just got to get the turkey dinner. That's all.
That's fair.
It's fair.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
All right. More news now at 6:03 this morning. Madison's largest class of police recruits ever is continuing its field training this morning. The record-breaking class of 50 are on the road learning from seasoned officers. Madison police say the big class is meant to replace several officers who retired and will help ease some of the strain of officers picking up the slack. In order to retain the new recruits, Officer Kim Allen says it's important to offer support.
You try to make sure that they feel a part of the brotherhood or the family that's here?
It's exciting. It is new. I don't think that there is another experience that I can relate this to. But you know, you go out and you answer a call and you know that somebody is in need. So get there is the first step, and then be able to help as much as you can.
This class of recruits is slated to finish field training in February.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office is still looking for an inmate who walked away from a work release facility. Rondino Fleming walked out of the Ferris Center on Saturday. That's a minimum security facility on Rimrock Road. He was serving a 25-week sentence for battery and is now considered AWOL, which means once he's found, he'll also face a felony escape charge. He was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and gray sweatpants. Right
now, Madison police are looking for a man who they say broke into a home. Officers got a call for a home burglary on Eldorado Lane near Cottage Grove Road around 7 Saturday night. The homeowner says the suspect ran off towards the south to Buckeye Road and jumped a fence. Police collected evidence but haven't found the man yet. They say he was last seen wearing a black hoodie and gray sweatpants.
Police are offering up some advice on how to keep criminals from stealing your hard-earned cash and holiday cheer this year. CBS News reports the most common mistake is leaving a key fob in the car as you go shopping. Police encourage you to park where you can be seen. Don't leave your bags in plain sight and then return for more shopping. Put purchases instead in the trunk or cover them up. Also, to help protect your identity, don't leave behind unnecessary identifying information inside your car.
We are just a few days away from the official start of the holiday shopping season, and this year you'll likely spend more than $1,000 on friends and family. That's according to new research from the National Retail Federation. In total, they say shoppers will spend more than $720 billion on presents this year. Gift cards take the lead on popular gifts, and Barbie is still the top toy. She's followed by LOL surprise dolls and American Girl items. Lego, Hot Wheels, and Paw Patrol are also hot buys.
So you heard Hattie mention it. The potential for messy weather in the next couple of days will impact your trip home for Thanksgiving. Our first alert weather team, including Hattie, is continuing to track the possibility for rain and snow as AAA expects a record-setting amount of travelers. A lot of airports are already seeing the rush. 1.6 million more travelers are expected this year than in 2018, with many of them driving. Hattie will have more about that weather for your trips home. That's coming up in about 10 minutes.
We modify our diets to lose weight, regulate blood sugar, and lower cholesterol. But what if what you ate affected your mood? While research is fairly new, the connection between the two is clear. Just as what we eat affects our physical health, it also has an impact on mental health. Several studies show certain nutrients can improve symptoms of depression. There are tangible things people can do within their own diets to see the benefits to their mental health. Dietitians at Unity Point Health Meriter recommend trying a Mediterranean diet rich in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and fish.
Those people who eat more of a plant-based diet have lower rates of depressive symptoms than those people who are eating a more processed or Western diet.
Tonight only on News 3 Now at 10, we'll take a closer look at what foods you should eat or avoid to improve your mental health.
So for those of you who went to bed before the Packers game ended, we have some bad news to break to you. The Packers struggled to move the ball against a tough 49ers defense all night, losing 37-8. Ham Yankee says, at least we scored. There's that. San Francisco forced a turnover on the Packers' opening possession, quickly turning it into a touchdown. That energy kept up throughout the game. The 49ers jumped out to a 23-0 lead before the Packers finally scored in the third. Late touchdowns from the 49ers made the final score 37-8, dropping the Packers to 8-3 on the season. Oof-da.
Woof.
Not great.
Not great, but they scored just like Pam Yankee said.
Find a silver lining there. Jeez. All right, just a couple of days away from Thanksgiving, and if you're still trying to figure out what to serve, we're here to help you out. Coming up, we are showing you a few quick and easy dishes you can bring to the Turkey Day table.
But first, while it's going to be a decent start to the short work week, Hattie says it's going to be a different story as the week goes on. We're talking about snow and rain to impact your Thanksgiving travel coming up in your Alert Day forecast when News 3 Now This Morning continues.
This
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. We are watching that storm system that will impact the area later tomorrow into Wednesday. Here are all the latest details. It looks like this storm is going to take a little bit further northerly track. So for us here in southern Wisconsin, that means mainly a rain event. We could be talking anywhere from a half to 1 inch of rain. Very strong winds on Wednesday from the northwest could cause some issues in the northern part of the state with blowing and drifting snow. And that's where winter storm watches are in effect this morning in advance of this storm system. There's the potential for some pretty heavy snow across parts of northern Wisconsin, and those are the areas in the winter storm watch right now. Here's a look at total amounts. I've actually shifted the snow totals a little bit further back to the north and west. Looks like mainly a rain event for our area, but if you are traveling to the north, keep that in mind. The snow will develop Tuesday night and continue into Wednesday morning, and there could be some pretty heavy accumulations, more than 6 inches, as you get up towards Eau Claire. Now, here's a look at your future track forecast model. If you're getting a jump start on travel Tuesday morning, here's 8:30 in the morning, just cloudy skies for the area. Through the day on Tuesday, though, we will start to see some rain move in from the south-southwest, and by 5 o'clock, likely in far southern Wisconsin, some rain will be falling. Now, overnight, there's snow to the north, rain here in southern Wisconsin, in between, right around the Dells northward. That's where the rain-snow line is likely to set up. Now, there may be a few snowflakes working their way into areas north of Madison early Tuesday morning. By noon on Tuesday, though, the storm system will be wrapping up and winding out of the area, so improving conditions for the afternoon. 6 p.m. Wednesday, all the precipitation should be done, and you're left with just cloudy skies by Thanksgiving morning. Now, here's a look at what we have this morning. Speaking of clouds, a little bit of cloud cover moving in from the west, and you're also seeing a little bit of light precipitation with those clouds as well. There's an outside chance that you'll see a light shower today or some sprinkles, mainly around the lunch hour. 34 right now in Madison with mostly clear skies. Temperatures elsewhere are right around that freezing point. We've been talking so much about this storm coming for tomorrow, but I would be remiss if I didn't tell you to enjoy the day today. We have partly sunny skies. Temperatures by lunchtime already into the 40s. There's that small chance for rain, but highs in the mid to upper 40s today, so enjoy the mild conditions. Here's a look at your extended forecast. It stays pretty unsettled right through the Thanksgiving holiday. Another storm system Friday into Saturday and Sunday may bring some snow to the area on the backside Sunday, so we've issued an alert day for potential travel impacts heading home from that Thanksgiving holiday. Now it's time to get a look at your first alert traffic maps with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. So far, the Beltline moving well for the early commuters. Really nothing to slow you down yet in either direction at this point. Other roads here in Dane County are pretty quiet as well. Just watch for a few brake lights showing up on Stoughton Road and Verona Road as you approach the Beltline. No delays downtown around the Capitol and on campus. Volume should not be an issue yet. And other main routes, including the interstate, they're cruising along at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh and Hattie, thank you both very much. It is 6:15 right now. We are just 3 days out from Thanksgiving, and if you're still struggling to find a last-minute recipe to bring to dinner, we are helping you out this morning.
Oh, yeah, we are. Our favorite dietitian, Emmy Bolton, is in this morning with some quick and easy ideas everybody will enjoy. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what I love about you and your food is that it's always quick, but it's also really healthy.
Yes, I like to try to mix the two and then still keep some flavor there.
Let's start over here
Yeah.
because this I have these acorn squashes sitting in my house, so I'm gonna use them.
There you go.
For Thanksgiving. Tell us what we can do.
That's the story of my holidays every year. I get one of these, I don't use it. So
Right.
this year my goal was to use it. This is a baked acorn squash with a turkey, mushroom, wild rice, herb mixture. So you cook the turkey with the mushrooms in a skillet, and which is also, by the way, a great way to sneak in some veggies to your dinner. And then you just bake it in the butternut squash. So easy, really flavorful with all those fresh herbs, and of course there's some Parmesan cheese in there too.
Of course.
Yeah.
That looks amazing. What do we got here in the middle?
So this is a butternut squash brown rice risotto, and the cool thing here is that it was all made in the Instant Pot. So quick. I know I have a lot of Instant Pot fans out there. So you just literally throw the butternut squash, the brown rice, a little bit of butter, onions, garlic, shallots into your Instant Pot with some sage, and then you just let it cook and you're all good to go. So that's a good one to bring to a family's house if you need a quick one that is kind of last minute.
That's really interesting because risotto is rarely that quick.
Right.
Keely made it for my birthday and
Yeah.
it took her forever. So the Instant Pot Smart there.
Yeah, and looks super impressive too.
It does. It does.
really does.
Yeah.
Let's check out the salad at the end. This looks yummy too.
Yeah, so this is a roasted beet and orange segment salad. It's nice to have something fresh on the table during the holidays. I guarantee you if you want it, there's someone else that would like something like this too. So all I have is roasted beets, just a couple different beautiful colors, some fresh orange segments, watercress, but you could use arugula, some goat cheese, fresh herbs, and a nice little olive oil and lemon vinaigrette. So really easy. You can even buy these beets pre-roasted and chopped like this just to make things even easier on yourself.
I love how they're kind of just different too, because I feel like you always have the staple stuff that's going to be on the table, but just having something different kind of changes it up.
Makes you look good.
Yeah, it makes you look good, and our satisfaction with a meal is always determined in part by how much we actually enjoy it and the flavors and all of that. So why not mix it up, try something else, and maybe you'll have a new family favorite on your hands.
All three have cheese.
Yeah.
There you
Very
go.
important. Love it.
Yep.
We've got your information. We'll throw that up on the screen here, but if people have questions that are interested in reaching out to you, how can they find you?
Yeah, so my website is therealgoodnutrition.com or info@therealgoodnutrition.com for email.
All right. Well, Emmy, thank you so much, and
Thank
happy
you guys.
Thanksgiving to you.
You too.
Good to see you.
You too.
All right, put down the Gatorade, folks. Take a pass on that Powerade. We are telling you about the surprising post-game recovery drink that is best for your kids. Josh and I are loving that story. That's next.
But first, a nice start to your work week in store. A short week with that, too, with mild temperatures and partly sunny skies. But that is going to be changing soon. Hattie's bus stop forecast is straight ahead on News 3 Now this morning. 6:21 on a Monday morning. Live look at the sunrise to start off the week. It's good to see some sunshine, and that's going to be warming us up quite nicely today, Hads.
Yeah, kind of a nice omen. Today's actually going to be a beautiful day across southern Wisconsin. Take a look at satellite and radar combined. Nothing showing up radar-wise here across southern Wisconsin, but you will note some cloud cover, especially moving into the west. It's a little cloudy in Platteville and parts of Grant County this morning. Before the rest of the area, partly sunny skies through the morning hours. Your bus stop weather forecast calls for, again, a pretty mild day. You maybe can take off a few layers today. 47 for the high this afternoon. Looking ahead, though, I know it's a short work week for the kids at school, but here's a look at the winter storm watches that are already in effect for north of our viewing area if you are traveling for Thanksgiving. More on that forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, it turns out that if you drink, you can help support the dairy industry while giving your kids a post-game recovery drink. A new study by Dairy Max and the University of Texas found chocolate milk outperforms commercial sports drinks for post-workout recovery in high school athletes. The research shows chocolate milk's naturally occurring electrolytes, 90% water content, and 8 grams of protein helps refuel the body. This isn't the first study of the benefits of chocolate milk for athletes, but it's different from others.
The thing that makes this recent study unique is that it was done in adolescent, kind of high school athletes in a field-based setting where they were kind of just doing their regular sport activities for about 5 weeks, and then they had the chocolate milk intervention. So that's why it's kind of a first of its kind.
The study took student athletes and broke them into 2 groups after their workouts. One drank chocolate milk and the other drank sports drinks. The researchers found the chocolate milk group had significantly greater improvements in strength and performance.
Reason to pick up some milk this morning. Now, wet weather and a poor harvest are still making life difficult for farmers here in Wisconsin, but dairy farmers are seeing a glimpse of hope in the form of milk prices on the rise. Just this month, prices hit $20 per hundredweight of milk. That's the highest selling price in 5 years. Even though prices are good now, the future is still a wild card. Farmers say buying things like cheese and ice cream can go a long way in supporting the dairy industry.
Right now, there's more food you should be avoiding this holiday season. The FDA and CDC are investigating an outbreak of E. coli infections linked to romaine lettuce. Dozens across the U.S. are sick from the lettuce, including here in Wisconsin. There are now 40 cases of people getting sick and 28 hospitalizations reported. Health officials are urging people to not eat romaine lettuce harvested from the Salinas, California growing region.
For kids treated with medical marijuana, taking their prescriptions can be difficult during the school year. Federal law doesn't allow medical marijuana to be given in schools, but now more states are taking on the issue. Parents say they have to take their kids off of school grounds just to give them their medication legally. Under a new law in California, that would change. Parents would be able to give medical cannabis like pills, creams, and oils on school grounds. At least 8 other states are adopting similar laws to allow medical marijuana on school grounds.
Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin is expressing her concerns about vaping and the future of the FDA. Dr. Stephen Hahn is the Trump administration's nominee to be the next FDA commissioner. When he stood before the Senate Health Committee, Senator Baldwin was ready with questions. She asked Hahn if he's ready to stand up to special interest groups, the vaping industry, and the president to end the vaping epidemic. Baldwin says she wants to make sure Hahn is qualified for the job.
Never had a role in government before, nor has he led an organization that deals with oversight and regulation. He has, however, run a very large health-related organization.
Baldwin says Hahn's experience as an oncologist and his focus on human and public health are both strengths for this position.
All right, we are going into the 3rd day of deer hunting season, and it's already proving to be dangerous. 4 people were shot during opening weekend. DNR officials are asking the public for more information in one of those incidents, where a man was shot while hunting up in Washburn County. 2 people shot themselves in the foot in separate incidents, one in Oneida, the other in Marathon County, and a 19-year-old was shot by a hunter in Fond du Lac County. 6:25 on your Monday. Still ahead, we are tracking some storms moving through our area as you're preparing for your Thanksgiving travel plans. Hattie's First Alert forecast is up next.
And we are continuing to track breaking news on Madison's east side as police are investigating a shootout that damaged multiple buildings and cars. Stay with us. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
It's the
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on this November 25th. We are starting this morning with breaking news of an East Side shootout that nearly hit someone inside their home.
Keely Arthur's been talking with police and neighbors this morning, and she's live on the scene with the very latest. Keely?
Yeah, we spoke to a woman off camera. She said she wasn't surprised to hear about this shots fired incident, but she said she's too scared to go on camera because this area has a lot of crime. Now, we don't know what motivated this shots fired incident, but we do know that at least 36 shots were fired, hitting buildings, homes, narrowly missing a person by about 5 feet, according to police. Now, it's a miracle no one was actually hit. That's because this area is heavily populated. We're off of Cottage Grove Road. There's a YMCA, there's lots of homes, even a police station. Officers say this happened around 9 p.m. last night at the 4500 block of Cottage Grove. They say those 36 shell casings were found, damaging 2 vehicles and multiple buildings. Police say residents tried to hide when they heard those gunshots, which officers say came from 2 sides shooting at one another. Now, right now, police are getting video evidence to learn more. They also talked to several people in the area and searched apartments overnight. This shooting comes just a few days after one that took place over on the city's north side last Wednesday. A woman was actually shot by a stray bullet. The people involved in that have been arrested, according to police. No arrests, though, Josh and Leah, made in this case just yet. Police obviously want that to change later today. They're asking anyone with any information to contact them or Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Keely Arthur live on Madison's east side. Keely, thank you.
All right, over to Hattie now with the calm before the storm. A balmy Monday ahead, right, Hattie?
That is true. We're talking temperatures near 50 later on this afternoon. And take a look behind me. Gorgeous shot from our Edgewater sky camera this morning. Just a few clouds in the area early today, but we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures are actually in the 30s in most locations this morning. Up a couple of degrees in the Dells to 31. We're at 34 here in Madison. Janesville is still 30 degrees. As you head out the door this morning, I don't think you need quite as many layers today. It'll feel pretty comfortable this afternoon with partly sunny skies and highs right around 47 here in Madison. South of Madison, though, areas like Janesville may see temperatures a little closer to 50. Now, take a look at the rain chances. Pretty small through the day today. There may be an outside shower around the lunchtime hour, and then through Tuesday morning staying dry. But look at how those rain chances ramp up later in the day on Tuesday. Rain becoming likely starting with the evening commute Tuesday right into the overnight hours. I'll have more on this storm system coming up in just a few minutes. Here's a look at your first alert traffic note, though. Just a few brake lights showing up on Stoughton Road. Looks like there's a stalled vehicle. This is right on the interstate near the east exit to Madison at 151. No delays there, though, right now. Here's a look at your drive times and speeds. We are talking pretty typical conditions right now. No delays to report. And that's your first alert traffic.
Hattie, thank you. Breaking news overnight into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. London's transit operator says they will not be renewing the rideshare company's license to operate in the British capital. Incidents that place the safety of passengers at risk are cited as the primary reason for the decision. Uber's license expires today. However, they can still appeal the decision and continue to operate during the appeals process. Former New York City Mayor and billionaire Michael Bloomberg is officially running for president this morning.
His late entry throws a new twist into the race and is also raising some ethics questions. Bloomberg's news service and other business holdings employ more than 19,000 people across 69 countries. Bloomberg had previously promised to separate himself from his foundation and private businesses if he were to launch a campaign, but he hasn't clarified that stance in these past few days. An advertisement for the billionaire promises that under a Bloomberg presidency, quote, the wealthy would pay more taxes and the middle class would get its fair share.
Navy Secretary Richard Spencer is being forced out for proposing a secret agreement with the White House. That agreement involved the case of Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher, whose war crimes allegations are causing tension between the Pentagon and President Trump. A Trump administration official said defense officials were worried President Trump would block the Navy from ejecting Gallagher from the SEALs after he posed for a picture with a dead ISIS fighter's body. In his resignation letter, Spencer said, quote, "I no longer share the same understanding with the commander-in-chief who appointed me in regards to the key principles of good order and discipline."
House Democrats are starting to prepare a report on the impeachment inquiry, but there still could be more public hearings. Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff says he's open to holding more hearings, but he doesn't want to slow down the entire process. One witness lawmakers may want to still hear from is former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Bolton had resurfaced on Twitter recently with a cryptic tweet promising the backstory on his absence. But his lawyer says Bolton will only testify before lawmakers if a judge orders him to do so.
Meanwhile, the president is calling out House Democrats, tweeting out that they're not getting any legislation done, hence his Do Nothing Democrats nickname. Wisconsin Representative Mark Pocan responded on Twitter, defending the work he and his colleagues are doing. In the tweet, Pocan says the House passed nearly 400 bills this Congress, while the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has ignored more than 300 of those.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is back home this morning. The 86-year-old justice has been released from a Baltimore hospital. Ginsburg had been admitted Friday night, complaining of fever and chills. She was treated for an infection and reported feeling much better on Sunday. Good news there. All right, still ahead in the morning sprint this morning, we are recapping the Packers' fall to the 49ers last night.
But first, we're showing you a heartwarming homecoming just in time for the holidays. You're not going to want to miss it coming up on News 3 Now this morning.
All right, we always ask you to share your morning with us this time of the morning, and I wanted to share my Sunday morning with you. It was my mom's birthday yesterday, so we got out. We headed to Spurgeon Winery in Highland, which is down in this bottom, in this little valley where there are tons of eagles. So we snapped this beautiful photo of an eagle flying away. You don't realize how majestic they are until you see that wingspan.
Up close and personal like that, too. Nice and low to the ground.
Yes, as I've been saying, taking time to spend with your family. That's exactly what I did this weekend. Happy belated birthday to my mom.
Oh, yeah, happy belated birthday to her. And happy belated birthday to you as well, too. I know we missed you on your birthday last week, but yeah, it's good to have you back.
Glad to be home. Thanks, Mom, for snapping this picture.
All right, 6:39 right now. A mom and her 2 sons are celebrating a Christmas miracle. Mary Nyland and her kids hadn't seen Dad in months. Her husband, Troy, has been serving with a Marine unit in Japan. Her son, Drake, wrote a letter to Santa asking if his dad could come home for Christmas. And little did he know that his wish would be answered sooner rather than later.
You don't realize how much you miss until you're gone for that amount of time. Just as an example, when I left Harvey, the younger one was still babbling, and now he can string full sentences and talk.
Just amazing right there. The Nylands found out Troy was coming home just a few weeks ago. Troy says he understands not everyone who serves gets to see their families this time of year and says he's thankful for the opportunity.
Heartwarming. All right, as we get closer to the holiday season, some families are already picking out and putting up their Christmas trees. Regala's Choose and Cut Tree Farm is officially open for the season with all of the same traditions community members always look forward to. Dan Regala's daughter, Carrie, owns a horse farm, so she brings the horses over so kids can ride around and make new memories every year.
After she was 2 years old, we started coming, and they seem to have good trees, and well, the pony ride is definitely a plus.
So growing trees is a labor of love. Some of them take 15 years to reach full size, and about a third of them don't make it at all. If you're shopping for a tree earlier this season, it's recommended that you get a Fraser or a balsam fir because they keep their needles the longest.
Thanksgiving is a stressful time to be a turkey, but there are no nightmares of stuffing for these birds. That's because President Trump is set to pardon these 2 from the chopping block later this week. Boy, that's aggressive, chopping block. Until then, they get to live a life of luxury in a hotel near the White House. Look at that.
They do?
What the heck? Oh. The turkey pardon has its roots back to the Truman administration, but did not become an annual tradition until the Reagan years. The pardoned turkeys will be sent to Virginia Tech's Poultry Science Program.
Boy, I'd hate to be the person who has to clean up that hotel room.
Our producer Jake said that they actually put like wood chips and stuff in there to make it feel like they're more at home.
What
but I'm
a
just
life.
like, can you imagine being that hotel guest after that?
What a fluffy
Smells
bed.
like a couple turkeys in here.
Ooh, all right, good for them. Good for them.
Saving them from the chopping block. All right, 6:41, mild and sunny today, but that is about to change. Hattie's First Alert Forecast is bringing you the latest on an incoming winter storm and how it could impact your Thanksgiving travel. That's coming up.
But first, if you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back. 6:45 on your Monday, and a beautiful Monday at that. Take a peek at that sunrise coming up over the west side of Madison. This is the kind of Monday I can get behind.
Yeah, this helps you get out of bed, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does. Hattie, we've got a beautiful day in store.
We certainly do. Temperatures will be mild today, but everyone is focusing on what comes next. And we have alert days in the forecast still for a storm system moving in late Tuesday into early Wednesday. Forecast models coming into a little better agreement, though. Looks like it is going to be mainly rain for us here in southern Wisconsin. Very strong winds, though, on Wednesday, and that may have some implications in the northern part of the state, especially where there is some snow. Track matters. Now, here is a look. This is the most likely scenario for this storm system, tracking right across southern Wisconsin, leaving areas for like Madison, Milwaukee, Janesville, an all-rain scenario from this particular system. But again, as we know, things can change in weather, and they can change sometimes rather quickly. So if this storm system decides to move a little bit further to the south, that'll bring that snow further to the south as well and may impact our viewing area. But right now, looks like it is mainly going to be a rain event for us. No rain here, but there are a few sprinkles showing up west of the area. They will likely track across southern Wisconsin, so a few sprinkles possible towards the lunch hour. But here's our next big storm system that we're focusing on for Tuesday, Wednesday. Already see some snows breaking out around Salt Lake City. This storm system will exit the Rockies and make a beeline for southern Wisconsin over the next 24 hours. A look at your total snow potential. We've shifted these snow bands a little bit further to the north and west. So again, mainly rain. Less than an inch of snow for most of our viewing area. North of the Dells, that's where you could see some light snow accumulation. There may be a band of some heavier snow from southern Minnesota into northern Wisconsin, though, where they see more than 6 inches of snow. So if your travel plans take you to the north, keep those winter driving skills remember those winter driving skills and make sure the car is ready for some snowy travel. Winter storm watches are already in effect for our northern part of the state back into Minnesota. For us here in southern Wisconsin, as I mentioned, rain, and here's a look at rain potential. Another ½ an inch to an inch of rain is possible for southern Wisconsin, so a really wet scenario setting up Tuesday night. This morning, we do have some clouds streaming in from the west. Again, no precipitation from these clouds just yet. May see a few of those sprinkles in southern Minnesota work their way into the area, though, towards the lunch hour. Here's a look at your current temperatures this morning. 34 here in Madison, 30 in Janesville, 32 in the Dells, so right around freezing early today. Your future track forecast model calls for partly sunny skies. Actually a pretty nice day. Maybe some cloud cover, that little bit of a chance for rain towards the lunch hour. But take a look at these highs. At 4 p.m., 47 here in Madison, 42 in the Dells. Monroe is at 46. A pretty mild day for late November. Skies will remain partly cloudy through the evening, but then turn mostly cloudy overnight as that storm system gets a little closer. Here's our forecast then. The 2 alert days for Tuesday and Wednesday. Another one on Sunday because there's a potential for another storm to move in for the next weekend. That could bring some accumulating snow to all of southern Wisconsin. So keep that in mind. Here's our Petwalk forecast. Kenya. Oh, is Kenya taking a nap?
Buddy.
Kenya's got the right idea, maybe later
love
this
it.
week after some turkey time.
Yes.
Yes. Or any day this week.
Yeah, very.
She's already gotten her tryptophan. Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us for the morning sprint up next. 6:51, time for the morning sprint with a number of stories to update you as you head out the door this Monday.
We start with breaking news of a shootout overnight on the city's east side. Keely has the details. Keely?
Yes, Josh and Leah, that is correct. Now, this incident happens just a few days after one that happened over on the north side where a woman was shot by a stray bullet. Thankfully, no one shot last night, but it is kind of a miracle. Police say they found 36 shell casings that hit vehicles, cars, homes, narrowly missing a person by about 5 feet. Officers tell us this happened at the 4500 block of Cottage Grove Road around 9 p.m. Lots of homes and apartments in this area. Police say people tried to hide when they heard the gunshots that were reportedly coming from two groups shooting at one another. No arrests have been made yet, and police are asking for the public's cooperation in this. If you have any information, please contact Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Josh?
Keely, thank you. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is looking for an inmate who walked away from a work release facility. Rondino Fleming walked out of the Ferris Center Saturday. That's the minimum security facility on Rimrock Road. He was serving a 25-week sentence for battery and is now considered AWOL. Once he's found, he'll also face a felony escape charge. He was last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and gray sweatpants.
Madison police are still looking for a man they say broke into a home. Officers got a call for a house burglary on Eldorado Lane near Cottage Grove Road around 7 Saturday night. The homeowner says the suspect ran off south toward Buckeye Road and jumped a fence there. Police have collected evidence, but they haven't found that man yet. They say he was last seen wearing a black hoodie and gray sweatpants.
And it's a beautiful start this morning. You can see a little bit of cloud cover in Platteville, but the sunshine coming up as well. Beautiful sky today. Enjoy partly sunny skies with high temperatures in the 40s. 47 here in Madison and Janesville. Temperatures even to the north hitting highs in the 40s. Now here's your probability of precipitation on Tuesday. Really ramping up as you head home from work. If you're headed out for Thanksgiving travel, look for rain Tuesday evening.
Patty, thank you. Wet weather and a poor harvest are making life more than difficult for farmers across Wisconsin. But dairy farmers are seeing a glimpse of hope as milk prices are on the rise. This month, prices hit $20 per hundredweight of milk, the highest selling price for milk in 5 years. Even though prices are good now, the future is still a wild card.
The FDA and CDC are investigating an outbreak of E. coli infections linked to romaine lettuce. Dozens across the U.S. are sick from the lettuce, including folks here in Wisconsin. There are now 40 cases of people getting sick and 28 hospitalizations reported. Health officials are urging people not to eat romaine lettuce harvested from the Salinas, California growing region.
The Packers struggled against the 49ers defense last night, who made it nearly impossible to move the ball. San Francisco forced a turnover on the Packers' opening possession, quickly turning it into a touchdown. The 49ers jumped out to a 23-0 lead before the Packers got a chance to score. A late touchdown from the 49ers made the final score 37-8, dropping the Packers to 8-3 on the season.
Former New York City mayor and billionaire Michael Bloomberg is announcing his presidential campaign amid some ethical concerns. Bloomberg's news service and other business holdings employ more than 19,000 people across 69 countries. Bloomberg had previously promised to separate himself from his foundation and private businesses if he were to launch a campaign, but he has not reclarified his stance since he announced.
House Democrats are starting to prepare a report on the impeachment inquiry, but there could still be more public hearings. Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff says he's open to holding more hearings, but doesn't want to slow down the whole process. Meanwhile, former National Security Advisor John Bolton promised the backstory on his absence, but his lawyer says Bolton will only testify if a judge orders him to do so.
A Wisconsin lawmaker is responding to the president's new nickname for his party as he tweets the do-nothing Democrats are getting nothing done in Congress. Representative Mark Pocan responded, defending the work he and his colleagues are doing. In a tweet, he said the House passed nearly 400 bills this Congress, while Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has ignored more than 300 of them.
Navy Secretary Richard Spencer is being forced out for proposing a secret agreement with the White House. That agreement involved the case of Navy SEAL Eddie Gallagher, whose war crimes allegations are causing tension between the Pentagon and President Trump. It's still unclear whether Spencer was fired or resigned.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is back home from the hospital this morning. The 86-year-old justice had been admitted Friday night, complaining of a fever and chills. She was treated for an infection and reported feeling much better on Sunday.
Pope Francis is on a 4-day visit to Japan, the first papal trip there in nearly 4 decades. After celebrating Sunday Mass in Nagasaki, he spoke at a memorial service in Hiroshima. The Pope paid tribute to the victims of the 2 atomic bombs the U.S. dropped in those cities during World War II.
London says it will not renew Uber's license to operate in the British capital, citing safety issues. The city says it wants to protect passengers from previous incidents that have been reported. Uber's license expires today, but they can appeal the decision and continue to operate as the courts review their case.
Coming up on 6:57, Josh Tim has a final look at your first alert traffic. Hi, Josh.
Good morning, guys. Starting to pick up now on the westbound side of the Beltline. Watch for some brake lights now between Stoughton Road and Monona Drive. The usual slowdowns beginning to show up on inbound side of John Nolan near the Rimrock and Olin Avenue intersections, moving into the downtown area. And other main routes, including the interstate, they're still cruising along at the usual speeds right now with no major crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh, thank you.
And guys, can't get enough of this sunrise this morning. Some clouds moving in from the west, but still a nice start to our Monday morning. Temperatures are in the 30s already. We'll be climbing to highs in the upper 40s later on this afternoon.
All right, Hattie, thank you very much.
And thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Take some time for your family on this Monday. Enjoy that sun, and we'll see you back here Tuesday morning. Have a good one.
Hello.